Hello, this is a short talk for Sunday the 27th of September, Harvest Festival at St Mary's, and the readings are Deuteronomy chapter 24 verses 19 to 22 and Luke chapter 17 verses 11 to 19. I said last week in my talk that there was no social security in ancient biblical times, but maybe these verses from Deuteronomy prove me wrong. The rule here of not entirely stripping your field of its crop at harvest time, whether it's grapes or grain or olives or whatever, and allowing those who are poorest and most vulnerable in society to come and glean so that they've got enough to survive, was one in the Jewish law intended to ensure that those who really were at the margins and struggling had enough to eat and to get by. Perhaps we can see a link here between the donations we give, especially to things like the food bank, for families and individuals who are really struggling. There are plenty of them in this country, and they were struggling before the lockdown, and they've certainly been struggling much worse since. And so all donations that you can give to the food bank, and you can bring them to church, not just on this Sunday, but any Sunday, or bring them to other places where they take donations like the Co-op in the High Street. I know that if you can give generously, it will be appreciated. Please do not stop giving if you can. The second reading, Luke's Gospel, rather odd one really for harvest. What has Jesus healing 10 lepers got to do with harvest? Well, it's not the healing really so much as one of them coming back and saying thank you, giving thanks to Jesus, of recognising the work and love and the healing of God in him. We, whoever we are, still have quite a lot to be thankful for our lives, for the planet we live on that God sustains, for the food we eat, for friends and neighbours that we have. So this is a reminder for us of thankfulness at a time of harvest thanksgiving. Our farmers have struggled this year because you may not remember there was a really wet spring, which meant a lot of crops couldn't be sown, and therefore it's not going to be easy getting the crop in. It hasn't been easy, and bread is going to be a bit more expensive in future, so we need to think about those who aren't going to be able to afford it, but also to think of our farmers who are struggling, but also to be thankful for what we've been given, for what God's given us, what others have made for us. We're at a critical point, it seems, in our human history in terms of caring for this planet, and that's something also that harvest reminds us of. So perhaps we too can be like that one Samaritan, traditionally an enemy of the Jewish people, who came back and thanked the Jewish healer for enabling him to have a new life again. Perhaps we can be thankful today. May your harvest at this time be one of truth and peace and goodness and generosity, as well as one of food and of plenty. May you know God's blessing in your life. May there be a good harvest for you and for those you love, and help us all to ensure there'll be a harvest for others too. Amen.